All right, today we're going to deconstruct a blueprint for success, a plan so profound it can literally make you unrecognizable. But let's be clear, there are no shortcuts here, no magic secrets, nope. There are only laws. And the first one is all about the price you pay in the dark. And that's exactly where we have to start, with the raw, unfiltered truth. Anyone out there trying to sell you on effortless success, they're selling you a fantasy. The framework we're digging into today is built on a decade of real experience. We're talking 7 laws that, if you follow them, make success not just a possibility, but almost predictable. So let's dive into the most misunderstood law of them all, especially now, in the age of social media. And it's the simple truth that all real, lasting success is forged in private. I want you to think of success like an iceberg. What everyone sees, that's the public applause, right? The supercars, the amazing results, that's just the tiny tip sticking out of the water. But below the surface, unseen, are the private victories. That's the boring, tedious, repetitive work. That is the real currency of success. You simply cannot have one without the other. Let's actually put some numbers on that. For every single moment of public victory you see, that first big client, that first nice car, you have to invest somewhere between 100 to 1,000 hours in private. And that's not some wild guess. That is the non-negotiable price of entry. So picture this, a tattoo right next to a 6-figure watch that just says private victories. It's this permanent, in-your-face reminder that the public symbol, the watch, it's absolutely meaningless without the unseen work. So the real question isn't, do you want the watch? It's, are you willing to pay for it in thousands of private hours? Okay, so once you've accepted that price, we can move on to the second act, actually building the strategic blueprint for your life. And it all starts with the people you choose to build it with. Now, this next law, look, this can make or break everything else we talk about today. Your partner, for real, decides your ceiling. If you have someone who's aligned and supportive, they create the peace you need to grow. But a misaligned partner, they'll be intimidated by your growth, or worse, they'll actively try to pull you back down. And the consequence is just, it's simple. You cannot build a professional empire on top of a foundation of personal chaos. It's nearly impossible to grow when you don't have peace at home. Stability isn't a luxury, you guys. It's a strategic necessity. Now for the third law. And this is a truth a lot of people really struggle with. Whatever new venture you decide to start, you are going to be bad at it at first. I mean, really bad. But this isn't some reflection of your worth. It's just a function of inexperience. You have to learn to detach your ego from the process.
Let's just be honest with ourselves for a second. Think about it. That first 100 hours in any new craft, whether it's boxing or salsa or a new business, that's just the entry fee. That's just paying your dues. It is not a benchmark for results. Expecting to be good at that stage is just, well, it's setting yourself up to fail. So when you inevitably hit that wall of incompetence, you face a very simple binary choice. There is no third option. Either you increase your effort to match your ambition, or you lower your desires to match your current effort. The two have to be in alignment, one or the other. The fourth law is all about strategy. You have to pick the right vehicle. What that means is choosing a business or a side hustle with a really low cost of failure. You want an opportunity where you can pull the slot machine lever again and again and again without going bankrupt. Because guess what? Most things don't work the first time. The key is just being able to stay in the game long enough to get a win. And that brings us to our third act, fueling the machine. See, once you have the blueprint, you've got to power it. And the fuel? It comes from one primary source. This right here, this is the core of the fifth law. Early in your journey, no investment, not stocks, not real estate, not crypto, will ever yield a better return than investing in yourself. You are the engine. Upgrading that engine is the only thing that truly matters. I mean, think about it this way. Worrying about a 10% return on a $1,000 portfolio is just, it's a distraction. That same $1,000 reinvested into a new skill for yourself could generate a return that absolutely dwarfs any market gain. Early on, your focus should be almost 100% on increasing your own value. So what does reinvesting in yourself actually look like? Well, it's tangible stuff. It's self-education, new training, better equipment, and it's also about buying back your time.
hiring virtual assistants or cleaners, so you can focus on the activities that actually generate income and push you forward. And now we've arrived at the final laws. This is where everything we've talked about, the planning, the strategy, the hard work, it all comes down to mindset and ultimately to action. Okay, the sixth law is this incredibly powerful duality. You have to combine the mindset of new money and old money. What does that mean? It means you have to work with the hunger, the aggression, the infinite energy of someone who has absolutely nothing to lose. But you have to think with the patience, the long-term vision, and the strategic intelligence of someone who's already won. You put those two together and you become an unstoppable force. And so here we are, the seventh and final law, distilled down to its absolute essence. After all the strategy, all the planning, all the learning, it all comes down to this one simple truth: action, bravery. This is the ultimate trap, and you have to avoid it at all costs. You can consume all the information, create the perfect plan, understand every single law we've talked about, but without action, you are simply the most well-prepared person still standing on the sidelines. Knowledge is totally useless without the courage to actually apply it. Look, this explainer has laid out the 7 laws for unrecognizable success. The entire blueprint is in your hands now, so the only question that's left, the only one that really matters, is the one right there on your screen. Do you have the guts to execute it?